Chapter number 14, Light and the Formation of Shadows. So let's see this chapter. Let us understand what are luminous objects and non-luminous objects. The object or material which emit light, those which themselves are the source of light, are called luminous objects or luminous materials. For example, the sun. Sun itself has its own light, right? So it is an luminous object. A candle which has its own light, and a bulb or the tube light which you have at your home. These all have their own source of light. That's why these are called as luminous object. For example, if I want to say the light emitted by an electric torch, you have torch at your home. When you on it, the light comes out. You can call a torch as luminous object. Let us see now what are non-luminous objects. The objects or material that are not source of light themselves are called non-luminous object or material. For example, wood, the wall, or what we can say, anything which doesn't has its own light. The chair on which you're sitting, thing doesn't has its own light source. That's why it is non-luminous object. Let us understand how the light propagates. That is, how the light travels to the earth. You have seen in the afternoon or in the early morning, if you see through the clouds, the light rays falling on the land from the clouds, right? You have also seen in the afternoon the rays of light entering through the slit in a door or a small hole in the roof, as shown in the figure. As these rays of light from the slit or the hole move towards the floor, the dust particles in their way are seen clearly. Due to these particles, the path of the light becomes visible and we can see their path is a long straight line. Here from the window, the light is entering, and light rays, how they are straight, right? Let us see what is reflection of light. Before that, students, tell me, how do we see an object, or how are we able to see an object? We are able to see an object only when if there is a light source present and object. Only then only we can see an object through our eyes. Here in the diagram it is shown. See, when the source of light is present, if an object is kept nearby, then our eyes capture that object. That is, the rays of light falling on an object from a source of light are thrown back from the surface of that object. This is called reflection of light. We see that object when the reflected rays reaches our eyes. At your home, you have mirror. What you do, you stand in front of mirror. What you can see? You can see your own reflection. Now what you do, off all the light source of that room, and now you stand in front of the mirror. What you are able to see? Are you able to see your image? No, you cannot see any reflection because there is no light source. Try this at your home. First, you stand in front of the mirror and see whether you can see your reflection. Now, off the light, off all the light source. If light is coming from the window, put the curtains, you off, and then you come and stand in front of the mirror. At that moment, you are unable to see your reflection because there is no light source. So, for reflection to be seen, you need a light source. See here. Here there are three friends, Raju, Appu and Ramu. So Ramu is holding the torch, Appu is holding the mirror, and Raju is standing far by. So you can see when Ramu ons the torch, the light falls on the mirror. He is holding the torch in such a way that the light should fall on the mirror. Once the light falls, it gets reflected. It got reflected and the light is falling on whom now? It is falling on Raju. So by this you should understand that light reflects. Let us understand how images are formed on plane mirror. The mirror that you have at your home, seeing which you dress up yourself, that mirror is called as plane mirror. So let's see the first point. The left and the right side of the original object appears to be exchanged in the mirror image. Here down you can see the boy is standing in front of the mirror. His left hand in the mirror looks like right hand. You yourself stand in front of the mirror and you check. The image that you can see in the mirror is the opposite side. That is, if you are seeing your right hand, you see in the image as left hand. Right? Let's see the next point. The image is far behind the mirror as the object is front of it. That is, you are standing in front of the mirror. Same it looks in the mirror also. The image also looks same. How far or how near you are standing. The size of the image is the same as that of the object. That is, how much is your true size, that much it will look in the mirror. Let us understand what are transparent object, what are translucent object, and what are opaque object. So let's see transparent. The first boy who is holding a glass whose face we can see clearly. The material he is holding is transparent material. Means the material through which light passes is said to be transparent. Examples are specs what your parents wear, the glass what this boy is holding. These all are transparent material. See in the second image, children, the girl is holding a glass, but can you see her clearly, her skin color? No, right? So such materials through which you cannot see clearly, but you are able to see some part of person, that is called as translucent object. That is the material through which light passes partially. Partially means let some light pass through it. Very little amount of light can be passed, like your water bottle. Such materials are translucent material. See the third image, student. The boy is holding an object. Can we see his face? No. That is, the materials which light does not pass is said to be opaque. Like wood, like your tiffin box, like the books. These all are examples of opaque object. Let us understand what are shadows and how they are formed. The shadow of an object is formed only when light does not pass through the object. The kind of shadow is formed depends upon the relative distance between the source of light, the object, and the surface on which the shadow is formed. Here in the image you can see clearly that the shadow in the morning and late afternoon, the shadow is bigger, right? And at noon time, at 12 o'clock, how is the shadow? Shorter. This you have observed on the streets also. While traveling, you have seen the trees' shadows. That is, the shadow changes depends upon the source of light. So try this activity at your home. Ask one of your friend to hold the torch and see the shadows, how they are formed. Try to do this. Do this fun activity. This activity is making a pinhole camera. Take an empty cylindrical box, remove its cap on one side and paste a thin white paper in its place. Now make a small hole at the center of another cap. Light a candle and hold the box in such a way that the flame of the candle is in front of the hole. Now you can see an upside down or inverted image of the flame on thin paper at the other end. Try to do this. The third activity is you just need to take a glass of water and a white paper, and in the morning you take that sheet of paper and glass and keep the glass on the sheet of the paper. That is, place a glass filled with water on a sheet of paper in the window so that it receives direct sunlight. The direct sunlight should fall on the glass, on the water. So what you can see on the paper? You can see the rainbows. rainbow light, that is the white light is getting converted into 7 lights, that is 7 colors. That is, we can say that white sunlight contains 7 colors. Try this also. Summary: a substance that emits light is a source of light. Next we saw the natural source of light are the sun, the stars, fireflies, etc. The lantern, the flame of a candle, an electric bulb, etc. are artificial source of light. Third, light is propagated in a straight line. Then we saw fourth, that is light must be reflected from the surface of an object for the object to be seen. Fifth, we saw that if an opaque object obstructs the path of light, it casts a shadow. Then we saw that white sunlight contains 7 colors. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.